All right, shalom, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Chakwadash. Giving double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone who taught me this truth. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. Peace and salutations to the Akim, the brethren out there on the highways, byways, pushing this truth with 100% sincerity. And peace and salutations to the few and sincere sisters who believe in this gospel. So I'm going to entitle this lesson, All Wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman. All wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman. I got a video I want to play here. It's talking about this Lindsay Clancy situation. About the Edomite woman. I think this happened like 3 years ago. An Edomite woman sent her husband out on some errands or whatever. And while he was gone, she strangled their 3 children to death. She unalived their 3 children. And now the trial is going on, and you've got a lot of women who are up in arms, are saying they're in support of Lindsay Clancy. Postpartum should be taken more seriously. You know, this is a fight for all women and all of this other shit, right? And they're doing this for a woman who murdered her 3 children, who unalived her 3 children, right? And, you know, people are saying, well, this is just a postpartum psychosis thing, and this is why she did it, and, you know, they're trying to claim insanity or some shit like that, right? When, I believe it came out also in the trial that she had a diary, and in that diary, you know, allegedly she wrote how much she hated, you know, one of the children. Right? She wrote how much she hated one of the children, and it also came out that she did more than just strangle the children. She did much worse. You know, I believe she possibly beat them or something like that. You know, these are things that I've heard. I don't know if they're officially true yet, but these are things that I've heard. But what we do know is that she did unalive her 3 kids. And women are even trying to blame the husband. They're trying to say that it's the husband's fault that she did this. Some women are even trying to say, well, the husband is the one who did it, and shit like that, right? And this is just showing you the lengths that women are willing to go to support wickedness, right? If it's got anything to do with their emotions, their feelings, how they feel, and all of this stuff, you know, even no matter how wicked it is, if they feel it, they believe they should be able to do it, and they should be able to protect the right to be able to do it. Remember, these are the same women who, when, you know, the baby deletions, right, were banned, the fetus deletions were banned in certain states. These are the same women who went hard to, you know what I'm saying, fight against that. Even were willing to vote, especially you nigger women, were willing to vote for a presidential candidate who basically ran on baby deletions, right? But look, no further ado, let's play this video.
A black man, you know what, it don't even matter that it's a black man. It's a little bit more disappointing that it's a black man, but a man got on TikTok and told black women not to take up arms for a white woman facing trial for her kids due to postpartum.
And Slocky, I had to stop right there. You see how wicked this bitch is? Right? This little fro, you know what I'm saying? Fat head, milk dud head nigger woman, right? She's so fucking wicked, she don't even want to say the truth, right? This is a woman who unalived her 3 children. She don't even want to say that, right? But let's keep going.
Fill in the blank. That type of struggle ain't got no color. And we damn sure ain't listening to no man telling us what to care about.
Lady, do you even hear yourself? You more disappointed with the black man who was telling you not to support a child murderer than a child murderer themselves. Lindsay Clancy strangled her 3 babies, including an 8-month-old, with an exercise band while she sent her husband out on errands. And you women are getting on here making think piece after think piece talking about postpartum this and postpartum that, when those are not even like the claims that her defense is making. As a black woman, do you think these white women would get on here and make the same excuses for you if you was to kill your 3 babies? Y'all are trying to find any reason to justify this horror. No empathy, no sympathy for the children whatsoever, but Lindsay Clancy deserves all of the sympathy in the world. I swear to God, there's a lot of black women that would do anything in their power to not only uphold white feminism, but white supremacy itself. You start your video off by berating a black man who is telling you not to support a child murderer, as opposed to the child murderer themselves. Then say, oh, we don't listen to no man. You guys don't understand this. What we do understand is, if this is a constant, if this is the standard that you ladies are saying, y'all's the baseline for how y'all think, that y'all emotions can go this way or that way, that we can't trust y'all around children, then at some point we have to honestly question why a lot of y'all have the right to vote. It's that serious. Now, I don't feel that way, but a lot of this content is making me feel that way. And as a black woman, like I said, they wouldn't support you if you killed your 3 kids, baby. So why are you getting on here throwing black men under the bus to support this white devil? Literally a white devil. Even the white people ain't supporting this woman. But yet you're going to get up here and sacrifice your reputation for a murderer who wouldn't give 2 shits about you. It's just like if I was to sit up here and support Chris Watts, you know, the white dude that killed his 2 daughters a couple, I would never, you don't see no black man on here supporting that, but you do see a black woman marrying that nigga now. Y'all need some help. What y'all need to do is get off this internet, go into the real world, live in the real world, spend some time with your kids, spend some time with your nieces and nephews. Get off this internet, because it's making y'all insane. It's making y'all
All right, so, you know, that's the video, but Jake is right. You know, and it ain't even just the internet, man. A lot of women, especially over here in Babylon, in this wicked system, have a mindset like this, to where they want to play out their deepest, darkest desires, right? Like, a lot of people don't understand how wicked the mind of a woman can be, right? And the fact that a lot of these women are out here supporting this, you know, women are literally rallying around, you know what I'm saying? Marching and rallying for this woman to be acquitted, shows you how vile a lot of women can be, right? But let's go here to Proverbs chapter 30 and verse 20. And it reads, it says, such is the way of an adulterous woman. She eateth and wipeth her mouth and saith, I have done no wickedness, right? This woman unalived her 3 children, right? And they always try and talk about the struggles of a mother, and the mother is the one who's always, you know what I'm saying, or in this society, right? The mother is the one who's always making the sacrifices. The mother always cares about the child more than the father. But yet you have a situation, and there's other situations too. There's other cases where, you know, this Lindsay Clancy case ain't the only case, right? There's other cases of women who unalived their children and got off too, right? But this is something that women do, or, you know what I'm saying, they will say because they felt this way, it should be right and okay. You know, there should be no consequences because it's my emotions. Women's emotions, honestly, a woman's emotions left unchecked is literally a demon. A woman's emotions left unchecked is literally a demon, right? Because when a woman's emotions grab hold of them and they don't have any regulation or any thought to say, okay, this is just a feeling. Or really, honestly, too, if they don't have a man around that's gonna check them, you know, a lot of these women, they are slaves to their emotions. They're literal slaves to their own emotions, right? And everything becomes about how she feels. And she can't break that because she's a slave to her emotions. Which is why you see women do some retarded ass shit, because she felt a certain way. She felt like this. She felt like that. So she did this and she did that. In this situation, for whatever reason, and I really honestly think a part of that was she hated her husband. She despised and hated her husband. And she couldn't really, she can't really take it out on her husband the way she wants to. So she took it out on the children she had with him. That's a real thing. A woman who hates her husband, a lot of times they hate the children that they have with that man as well. Right? Let's go here to Sirach, chapter 25. Right, so let's start here at verse 13. It says, give me any plague but the plague of the heart, and any wickedness but the wickedness of a woman. Because a woman will, if a woman feels like you did her wrong, if a woman feels like, you've taken advantage of her, right? And or you've done something crazy to her or whatever, especially if she don't really like you like that, but she feel like you got one up on her, a woman will go to great lengths to see you at your lowest state possible, even if that includes the grave. A woman will go to great lengths. See, men, we kind of have a limit, right? Men, we kind of have a limit. Men, we have our floor of what we're willing to do. Women go all the way down to the core of the earth if she has to, or if she feels she has to. Men, we'll kind of be like, all right, I did enough. All right, it's enough. This is enough. Women are different on the other hand. They'll go to the farthest length if they feel like that's what they got to do to get you back, right? Verse 14, it says, any affliction but the affliction from them that hate me, and any revenge but the revenge of enemies. There is no head above the head of a serpent, and there is no wrath above the wrath of an enemy. I had rather dwell with a lion and a dragon than to keep house with the wicked woman. The wickedness of a woman changeth her face and darkeneth her countenance like sackcloth, right? Hey, if you live with a woman that's wicked as hell, and she trying to get you for something that she feel like you did or something that you may have done, she might not be able to physically overpower you, but she will ponder on ways that she can fuck your life up. She will ponder on things that she can do to you. A woman will make you food and make you coffee and put a little poison in it every morning. Not enough to kill you right away.
Please sign into your vehicle before driving.
And she'll make you think shit is all good between you and her. But she'll put a little poison in there every day, right? And she been doing this for the past year or two. And all of a sudden, boom, you just drop dead, and now you got some type of crazy ailment that then popped up out of nowhere. But little do you know, this bitch been poisoning you every morning. That's why you gotta, when you deal with a woman, man, that's why you gotta vet her, right? Or let's say if you dealing with a woman and she don't respect you, she literally has no care for what happens to you. She don't care about your life. She could care less if you die or not. So women like that, these are the types of women who you hear about dudes getting set up. It was a story that came out, about a dude who, I forgot. His wife, it was something to do with a life insurance policy, right? And then she ended up having this dude set up to get killed so she could profit from the life insurance policy. With that shit that women do. You better off dwelling with a lion, because at least the lion, this nigga got teeth, claws. If he don't try and go for me now, one day he will. A woman, though, on the other hand, a woman will be giving you some box. She'll be topping you off, right? and then one day she got the knife to your back. You know, she just gave you some sloppy and knocked you out and then cut your throat. That's the wickedness of a woman, right? Verse 18, it says, her husband shall sit among his neighbors, and when he heareth it, shall sigh bitterly. All wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman. Let the portion of a sinner fall upon her, right? All wickedness is but little to the wickedness of the woman. Because like I said earlier, women are willing to go to great lengths if they feel like they have to try and get you back. If they feel like they got to get you back for something. Women don't care. They don't care. When they get in that mode, they do not care, which is why you have to be mindful of the woman that you allow into your life. You got to be mindful of the women who you choose to deal with. You know, don't just let any woman in your life. If any woman is showing you any kind of, you know what I'm saying, disinterest, dislike, disdain, disobedience, that is a woman who you have to cut her off immediately. Let her go immediately. Verse 20, it says, as the climbing up a sandy way is to the feet of the aged, so is a wife full of words to a quiet man, right? A woman who don't know how to shut the fuck up. She always talking, always running her mouth, always got something to say. Cut that bitch off too. Stumble not at the beauty of a woman, and desire her not for pleasure, right? It don't matter how cute her face is, how fat that ass is, how big them bosoms is, how much, you know what I'm saying, she get the biggling when she walking. It don't matter how much she can please you physically, right? All of that should mean nothing to you as a man. It should just be what it is. Entertainment, pleasure. But a woman has to show you more than just that in order, she should have to show you more than just that in order for you to, you know what I'm saying, really take her seriously. Really take her as in the thought of somebody who you can, you know what I'm saying, be with for the long term. Women have to prove themselves to you, brothers. Make these women prove themselves to you. You know what I'm saying? You have to have your own program. You got to have your own way that you live your life, of course, according to the scriptures. But have your routines. Have things that you do. You know, set schedules. And any woman, and if a woman can't fit into that, then that's a woman that you don't need to deal with. Don't ever try and impress no woman by taking her out somewhere you ain't never been to. And even if you do go out to like nice restaurants and everything like that, don't take a woman you just met because she look good. Hey, take that bitch to the park. Take that bitch to the little sports bar or whatever. Do something light. Don't do nothing special for a bitch, ever. Right? I'm going to skip down to verse 24. It says, of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die. Give the water no passage, neither a wicked woman liberty to gad abroad. See, a lot of these women have too much liberty. They have too much liberty and very little structure. A lot of these women, the only structure that they have is the structure of their own job, and that's it. Outside of that, there's nothing to govern and guide them in the way that which they should go. Because a lot of them are rebellious to men, right? But also, in all honesty, too, it's a lot of simps out here who they stumble at the beauty of a woman. They run out of their wits for a woman, in error and sin, right? And they fall to the temptation of what she looked like on the outside. So they acquiesce to her wants and desires, not understanding that her wants and desires are all temporary because they're emotional. They're based on her emotions. They change with the wind. So as a man, you gotta know and understand, if you're gonna deal with a woman, you're the leader. You give her instructions. You tell her what to do. It ain't the other way around. And ain't no compromise neither. See that word compromise that these women try and float around? I want a man who's willing to compromise. Bitch, you ain't nobody to compromise for. Cause compromising for you compromise for a woman is gonna lead to continual compromise. She wants you to do this and you compromise on that. Next thing she gonna want you to go further with it. So don't even compromise. If it's a way that you do something in your life and a woman is uncomfortable with that, fuck that bitch. Tell the bitch you get with it or get gone. You get with it or get gone. And that's that, right? So man, the point was made, man. Lord willing, this video lesson was edifying. Giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Chagdash. And until next time, Shalom.